Deep in the heart of southern Africa, spread across a vast, rolling landscape, stand the ruins of an ancient city. Towering stone walls, intricate passageways, and a colossal conical tower rise from the earth, silent witnesses to a forgotten empire. This is Great Zimbabwe, a monument so grand, so mysterious, that for centuries, its origins were fiercely debated and deliberately obscured. Who really built this magnificent stone kingdom? For a long time, the world was told it couldn't have been the work of native Africans. The answer, however, lies not in distant lands or lost tribes, but right here in the ingenuity and power of an African civilization that history tried to erase. Join us as we journey back in time to uncover the truth behind Great Zimbabwe, Africa's lost stone kingdom. The first European explorers to encounter these ruins in the 16th century were simply baffled. How could such a sophisticated structure exist in the middle of what they considered the Dark Continent? The sheer scale of it was overwhelming. The great enclosure, with its outer wall stretching over 250 meters, and reaching heights of 11 meters, is the largest ancient structure south of the Sahara. Yet that was all built without mortar, using the technique known as dry stone walling, where massive granite blocks were expertly cut and fitted together. The precision is astonishing. Some walls are over 5 meters thick. Looking at these structures, the colonial mindset of the time simply couldn't accept that local people were responsible. It didn't fit their narrative of an undeveloped Africa. And so, the myths began. European writers and amateur archaeologists spun elaborate tales. Perhaps it was the work of the Queen of Sheba built to house her legendary gold mines for King Solomon. Others suggested it was constructed by ancient Phoenicians or Arabs who had ventured deep into the continent. These theories, fueled by racial prejudice, were designed to strip Africans of their own heritage. They were a way of saying, this achievement is too great for you. For decades, this colonial narrative was taught as fact, effectively writing the Shona people, the true descendants of the city's builders, out of their own history. Archaeologists who dared to suggest an indigenous origin were often ridiculed, their careers threatened. The truth was systematically buried, just like the artifacts that lay waiting beneath the soil. But stone and soil hold memories, and in the 20th century, rigorous archaeological work began to chip away at these colonial lies. Pioneering archaeologists like David Randall Meekover in 1905 and later Gertrude Catton Thompson in 1929 conducted systematic excavations. Their findings were revolutionary and unequivocal. Catton Thompson famously declared, examination of all the existing evidence, gathered from every quarter, still can produce not one single item that is not in accordance with the claim of band origin and medieval date. Everything they found, from pottery shards and iron tools to the very style of the architecture, pointed to a local, indigenous culture. There were no foreign artifacts, no signs of an outside influence. The evidence was undeniable. Great Zimbabwe was African through and through. So who were these master builders? The city of Great Zimbabwe was the capital of a powerful Shona kingdom that flourished between the 11th and 15th centuries. At its peak, it was a bustling metropolis, home to an estimated 18,000 people. This wasn't just a random collection of walls. It was a complex, stratified society. The kingdom's rulers lived within the most impressive enclosures, separated from the general populace. The hill complex, perched atop a granite dome, likely served as the spiritual and royal center. From this vantage point, the king could oversee his domain. The famous great enclosure down in the valley is thought to have been the queen's residence or a center for initiation ceremonies. Its most enigmatic feature, the conical tower, stands 10 meters tall. Its exact purpose is still debated, perhaps a symbolic grain bin representing the king's generosity and power, or an astronomical observatory. The wealth that fueled this empire was immense. Great Zimbabwe was strategically located between the gold fields of the interior and the trading ports of the Swahili coast. Gold was the engine of their economy. Archaeologists have found evidence of extensive mining operations in the region. This gold, along with ivory, was traded across the Indian Ocean. In return, the people of Great Zimbabwe received luxury goods from as far away as China, Persia, and India. We know this because fragments of Chinese celadon pottery, Persian faience, and Indian glass beads have been excavated from the site. This wasn't an isolated kingdom. It was a major player in a global medieval trade network, a center of commerce and culture that connected Africa to the wider world. The society itself was highly organized. Beyond the royalty, there were skilled artisans, metallurgists, traders, and a vast population of farmers and cattle herders. Cattle were a symbol of wealth and status, much as they are in many parts of southern Africa today. The sheer amount of labor required to quarry the granite, shape the millions of blocks, and construct these monumental walls speaks to a powerful central authority capable of mobilizing and organizing its people on a massive scale. The architecture itself reflects this social structure. The finest, most elaborate stonework is found in the royal enclosures, while the common people lived in well-made huts of daga, a form of clay, outside the main walls. It was a city that clearly displayed its hierarchy in its very layout. One of the most iconic symbols of Great Zimbabwe is the Zimbabwe bird. 8 of these stylized birds, carved from soapstone and mounted on monoliths, were discovered in the ruins. Part human, part bird, these figures are believed to be powerful spiritual emblems, possibly representing a link between the earthly king and the heavens. The bird may have been an ancestral totem, a symbol of royal authority, or a messenger to the gods. Today, the Zimbabwe bird is the national emblem of the modern nation of Zimbabwe, a powerful symbol of a reclaimed history and national pride. It's a testament to how the legacy of this ancient kingdom continues to shape identity today. So what happened to this great civilization? Why was this magnificent city abandoned? Around the mid-15th century, Great Zimbabwe began to decline. The reasons are likely complex and multifaceted. One leading theory points to environmental factors. After centuries of intensive settlement, the surrounding land may have become depleted. Overgrazing by vast cattle herds and deforestation for firewood and construction could have exhausted the local resources, making it impossible to support such a large population. Another theory suggests a shift in trade routes. As new gold sources were discovered elsewhere, the economic power of Great Zimbabwe may have waned, leading its rulers to seek new centers of power. The kingdom didn't collapse overnight in some cataclysm. Instead, its people likely migrated, establishing new successor states like Kami and Danamombe, which continued the stone building tradition. Today, Great Zimbabwe is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, a place of immense cultural and historical importance. For the people of Zimbabwe, it is more than just an archaeological site. It is the cradle of their nation, a powerful rebuttal to centuries of colonial propaganda. It stands as physical proof of a rich, complex, and powerful pre-colonial African history. Visiting the site is a profound experience. As you walk through the narrow, stone-lined passages of the great enclosure, you can't help but feel a sense of awe for the people who conceived and built this place. You can almost hear the echoes of a vibrant city, the sounds of commerce, ceremony, and daily life. The story of Great Zimbabwe is a story of discovery, of loss, and of reclamation. It's a powerful lesson in how history can be written and rewritten to serve different agendas. For too long, the narrative was controlled by those who sought to diminish African achievements. But the stones of Great Zimbabwe refused to be silenced. They held their secrets until a time when the world was ready to listen, revealing a glorious chapter in human history that belongs not just to Zimbabwe or to Africa, but to all of us. It reminds us that great civilizations have risen and fallen on every continent, and that our understanding of the past is always evolving. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey to Great Zimbabwe. The legacy of this incredible stone kingdom is a vital piece of our shared global heritage. If you found this story as fascinating as we do, please hit that like button. And subscribe to our channel for more explorations into the world's hidden histories. Let us know. In the comments what other ancient mysteries you'd like us to uncover next. Until then, keep exploring.